There's natural evolutions that are always happening all the time. And for today, I decided to have this as my 10-minute walk, walking with the sled. Ian Danny was here a while back and he said, this is a great way to not only slap some muscle on somebody, especially in their glutes and hamstrings, which who doesn't want more of that, but glutes, hammies, calves. He also said it's a great way to release some body fat. So this is a, I guess we can call it like a fat shaming walk, a la Jesse Burdick. 10-minute walk, nice and smooth. Nothing has to be hard or difficult about it. We're dragging an extra 45 pounds, which doesn't feel like anything. But as you start to get towards the 10-minute mark, you'll probably be at about a half mile, depending on your pace for walking. So 45 pounds is nothing. But after 4 or 5 minutes, it's gonna turn into something. This could be a great place for a lot of people to work on their breathing. Maybe just nice and easy, in the nose, out the mouth, low stress. If you can handle the nasal breathing, that's cool. If you're not there yet, that's fine too. The other thing we can do is, if need be, we can start to walk differently. So I can go side to side. I can turn sideways and pull. You just really try not to stop. And if you stop for, a second to make an adjustment, not a huge deal. But just mix it up enough so you're not bored to tears. And I'll walk backwards in a minute as well. Try to pull that rib cage up a little bit. Some good breathing. 10-minute walks are great. I actually went on one today already with a weighted vest. I recommend about 10% of your body weight for a weighted vest walk. If you're really heavy, if you're in the obese category, then you don't need to lug around extra weight, okay? Just get yourself to be comfortable with some form of exercise. You adding weight to your frame that's already maybe breaking it down a bit, probably not a great idea. I go up on the curb here. Go past the police department over here. Really starting to build up in the hips, the glutes. You got that hip flexor firing. And you can do things slightly different when you're doing this, like just pick the knees up a little bit more than normal. It's just a little extra exercise. Flail the arms a little bit more. It's really good conditioning for the low back too. Might not realize if there's a lot of twisting going on. A lot of glute activation. People aren't really using their glutes when they walk. Shame on you. Everybody should be out there trying to get a big old butt. Now, more seriously, like sometimes people's hips and butts are sort of turned off. They don't fire the same way anymore. Some people, their hips will get rotated one way or the other. Mine are rotated back a little bit more like an athlete, and that's why I got a butt. But that's not necessarily a good thing, because a lot of times you can have that pelvic tilt towards the ground and the glutes could still shut off. And a lot of times people with big butts, they're not using them correctly either. So it's not really just about having hypertrophy of the glutes. It's about having good functionality with it and being able to explore hip extension. Hip flexion's here, right? Hip extension is like kind of back behind you. Now, keep in mind, I'm no expert on some of this stuff. This is just stuff I've seen over the years and I'm just sharing with you. But I've learned for myself when I practice a little hip extension on some walks, meaning just pushing the ground backwards, almost like I'm on a skateboard with my hamstrings and glutes, just a little skid, boom. A little skid backwards has kind of helped me, I don't know, just utilize some of the muscles I need when I'm running, when I'm walking, going upstairs, and so on. Well, it's probably about that time to turn around, and we're gonna do a naked gun right here. Naked gun time, ready? Here we go. Shout out Leslie Nielsen, shout out Naked Gun. I decided it was a good time to head back to the office. You guys get it? Fucking people don't get it, do you? God damn it. Naked Gun, airplane, anybody? 33 1/3. Remember at the end of 33 1/3? I think they're at the Academy Awards and they're about to like say like Best Picture or something. And Leslie Nielsen, he was like, and Leslie Nielsen always used this move. And I'm surprised they weren't privy to it, but he said, let me just pick the underwear out of my crack. And he like rubbed his nose and then he like swatted the thing away and ended up saving the day. And they should know that every time he does that, that means he's gonna spring into action at any time. I love a lot of stuff from Ben Patrick. He's my homie. He's been talking a lot about backward sled dragging. I've been a huge fan of the sled, backwards, forwards, and so on. But I would say, and Ben would agree, if you have zero ability, that's a thing that, a term that Ben uses, and your knees are real sluggish and they're beat up, you probably should not start walking backwards. You should probably start walking forward. So I would say, like, it just depends on the person, really. Can't really just make a blanket statement like that, but adding weight and adding load to someone who's not moving properly is also not always a great idea. Like, let's see if we can just move better. And over time we can load the body. The load, though, sometimes acts as a really sweet counterbalance. And it also, load can act as an activator. So, and it can also motivate you to put you into some good positions sometimes. Other times, maybe not so much. So it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but I would say if your knees are really banged up, work on walking with the sled forward first, because that's going to build your calves, your ankles, muscles around your shin, muscles around your knee, build up the hammy, and get you to extend with the glute. And, you know, most orthopedists, most, really just anybody that you're going to communicate with that knows a lot about injury, they're going to tell you a lot of times that injuries of the knees often have, there's usually some trouble in the hips. So you want to try to figure out how to solve some of these issues with the hip. I'm going to finish it off by walking forward some more. Do, 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 do. There we go. Oh yes, the cum trees of Davis. I remember them so well from last year. Here they are right here, full blossom. That was a little bleachy. A different type of 10-minute walk. A 10-minute walk of a different color. So you got a regular 10-minute walk. Now you have a weighted 10-minute walk. You also have the 8-minute run that I've been working on lately. 8 minutes of running. That's a really good one. I'll shoot a video for you guys on that so you can learn more about why I'm doing that. So sometimes when we're running, we're trying to have that ground contact time be kind of short. But I think for a walk like this, have it be real deliberate and long on purpose. Ground contact time. If you look at my foot, I'm taking my foot and trying to get into the big toe each time with each step, and I'm pushing back with the glutes, pushing back with the calf, even a little bit of flick at the bottom with the ankle. Give it a twist, like induce some muscle activation. Turn on some muscles. Don't just walk and lean forward. Induce some muscle activation. Head over foot. Wave the arms. For those of you that feel a little heavy when you're running, this for me has been a great exercise to help prep me for some of that. Even though it's not like the weight's not loaded on me straight down, right? But when you're lugging around some body weight, I'm gonna try to figure out ways to get used to it whatever way you can. And to think I started my running journey weighing 245, 250, nowadays a little bit more in the 225 range, 230. Feels a lot different. Plus, building up various strengths helps to make and doing some jumping and some plyos, jump rope, pogos, a little bit of box jumps, a little bit of depth jumping. All that stuff has really helped improve my strength to weight ratio. And unfortunately, one of the best things to improve that and your VO2 max is to simply lose weight. So I'm going to continue to get down in weight, which kind of sucks, but that's what I'm going to be working on. There you go. There's a different 10-minute walk. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.